21-13 on Sunday. They're among 4 teams in the NFC with 11 wins. This year, Green Bay is 6-1 against teams with a winning record. But Aaron Rodgers said after the game Sunday, the league isn't giving his team enough credit.
I don't know that we have the full respect of the entire league at this point, based on some of our performances. We're 7-1 at home. We have an inside track at the 2 seed. Obviously, we have an opportunity to wrap up the division next week. I like our chances. I like our football team.
How much you like him?
I mean, he said it himself that they're winning ugly, right? So he's aware that the national conversation of respect is validated because they're not controlling football games. If you watch their offense, right, just watch their offense. There's misses there. There's misses on tape where he's not seeing receivers. Receivers aren't getting open. Everything is short. It's all short completions. There's nothing that's going to push the football downfield. It's all get the ball out of his hands, get short completions, and hope guys make plays kind of after the completion. If you go push the ball downfield, there's misses. This isn't just a Week 14 thing. And so it's a not a double-edged sword, but it's unique because you're going, okay, in the playoffs, you can't win ugly. You're going to have to control football games and win. If you hit those misses that have shown up, yeah, then I really like their football team. But if those misses continue to show, Minnesota's going to beat them. New Orleans is going to beat them. Seattle's going to beat them. So how much do I like them? I like them as much as Aaron said that he does last week. Ugly.
I was one of the people who made a big deal of this last week, and it got a lot of attention, and I get it. I stand by what I said. The bottom line of it is Aaron Rodgers is being compared to himself. Right. At his best, he's the best quarterback I ever saw. Not the greatest, but the best. He's not playing like that right now. If it doesn't mean he can't recapture it. It doesn't mean he's terrible. It just means he's not playing like the Aaron Rodgers we've been watching all his career.
Yeah, I keep saying it, man. Like, a lot of the conversation that we have about these teams possibly getting to a Super Bowl and winning is not necessarily about them. It's about the other teams that we're watching. Aaron Rodgers right now is still elite. But like you said, G, and to that point, there are maybe 6, 7 guys you would take before Aaron Rodgers a year ago, 2 years ago. That never was a conversation.
I think what we're seeing with this NFC playoff field is a little bit of what you're saying with Green Bay, right? Aren't they run-heavy teams? I mean, Seattle, San Francisco. Who among these teams is really pushing the ball down the field? This may be how you have to win the NFC this year, and that's one reason why I'm a little hesitant on the Saints because they still don't have that run game going, but that's nitpicking. But I think, the problem, if you're a Packers opponent, is that always lurking will be the possibility that Aaron Rodgers goes Aaron Rodgers and wins a game.
And those 5 misses that are happening every game, you go 4 or 5 and all of a sudden it becomes a blow. I will say this, though. There's no way that they can play offensively the style of football or the success execution of football they have in the last 6 or 7 weeks and win in the playoffs. It's just they've got to be better execution-wise, 1 through 11 on offense.
Well, let's talk about the Packers and the Vikings because they'll go head-to-head. Let's do either or and start there. Graziano, Packers, Vikings, Monday night, huge game. Who you got?
I got to stick with the Vikings. I've been on the Vikings for a while now. I'm just really concerned about this Dalvin Cook thing. But getting Adam Thielen back, I think, adds an element to their offense that he'll have another game under his belt. I think that the game being in Minnesota matters, and I think I'm going to stick with the Vikings because that run game, I think, will work with the backup running backs.
A game of monstrous importance. Swagoo, Bills, Pats, Saturday afternoon. Who have you got?
I'm taking the Bills.
Whoa!
Yes. Look, we've talked about the problems with New England and their offense. Tre'Davious White is playing just as well as any cornerback in the league. But you talk about Josh Allen, his ability to run, and this defense with their ability to steal possessions from an anemic offense, which is New England Patriots. I'm taking the Bills.
Can you imagine the conversating that will follow if that actually happens? Finally, Orlovsky, Cowboys, Eagles, who you got?
And I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles since I'm going to the game. I'm going down to Xfinity Live. I'm going down to Broad Street. I want to watch Dougie P cook up some plays. I want to watch the better quarterback, Carson Wentz, light up the Cowboys defense. I'm taking the Eagles. Why? Because I picked them all year. Why? Because I married a girl from Philadelphia. And if I sat on this television show and said the Cowboys, I wouldn't be allowed in my house later on.
Okay, a wise man.
Now we get it.
Quick thought.
The Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. The Cowboys team that you saw play the Rams is the one that's going to show up.
You don't
Now, I
believe
don't
that?
know in the
You don't
playoffs
believe
if that team is going to show up. But I'm telling you, they found something. You know what bothers me about the Eagles? The fact that Carson Wentz is inconsistent. Like the fact that we don't know what Carson Wentz is going to show up. And Dak is arguably having a better season. If we look at the numbers he is, if we look at what the Cowboys are doing, even in a 7-7 season, Dak Prescott has been better than Carson Wentz.
Orlovsky, I have to ask you this. Is this about your love for your wife?
No question.
Or is this about your love for Carson Wentz? Which
It's
runs
Carson
deeper?
Wentz.
That's messed up.
It's Carson Wentz, G. It's Carson Wentz.
No, I think it's my love for my wife.
He thinks.
That's the right answer.
Listen,
That's the right
how
answer.
can you sit here and say the inconsistency of Carson Wentz when your football team is the most inconsistent team in the NFL?
They have the same record. The Eagles have all the same problems the Cowboys
No,
have
they
this year.
don't.
Absolutely.
No, they don't. The
They
Eagles
been-
have exponentially more
You know what the
problems than
Cowboys
the
can
Cowboys
do?
do.
You know what the
are one of
Cowboys? You know what the Cowboys can do? What they showed us this past week. They can run the ball down.
And you know
your
what the
throat.
Cowboys can do? They can lay eggs like they
can.
showed us all
So
year.
can
Turn
the
around and
Eagles.
hand the ball off.
The Eagles
Okay.
just lost to the Dolphins 2 weeks ago. They barely beating the worst teams in the NFC.
Don't get into
What
that.
what
Don't
team
get into
should
that.
what
Don't
team
get
should
into
win
it,
this
Dan.
football game?
The Cowboys should win.
Exactly. Exactly. And what team will
Quite
win this
frankly,
football
Don't
game?
foul
and
for
quite
The one who has
frankly,
more of this.
You say the better quarterback.
Grimes,
The
don't
only
foul
thing that
for it.
argues that Carson Wentz is the better quarterback is what you thought of him before they both started
love-
playing in the
his
league.
love
Because
for
ever
Carson
since they
Wentz.
entered the league the same exact year, Dak
Doug
Prescott
Peters-
has been the better quarterback.
love for Carson
The more
Wentz.
successful quarterback?
Doug, who's been the better quarterback against good football teams? Check
I
those
don't
numbers.
know. When's Carson Wentz played this time of year?
Okay. Wow.
What?
True.
He hasn't.
Okay.
Dak Prescott
What's he done the
has.
past 2 weeks?
He's barely
well.
beaten the Giants and Washington.
He's done
Barely beaten
He's done something
the two
no guy
worst
in the
teams.
NFL has
All
done
year-
this year.
No. All year we've been
no
sitting,
guy in the
all
NFL
year
has
we
done
have
this
sat
year.
here and said, who are the Cowboys played? Now you're telling me because he beat the Giants and he beat Washington,
With you playing
everything's
wide
okay?
receiver, Graz.
I'm going to leave it
cannot
there.
play wide. I can catch, but I cannot run.
I got to get
I'll
to the
take the
basketball.
Eagles.
I will just say this. The one thing no one can dispute, the Cowboys are a lot healthier going into this game. They should win. If they don't, we'll have a lot of conversation. Now, Monday Night Football, Orlovsky, Drew Brees on the precipice of history. 3 touchdown passes away from breaking Peyton Manning's record of 539. Early on, we're going to show you an incomplete pass. You may ask why. It's because it's the only incomplete pass he threw the entire night. 29 of 30 for Brees, but then he would start to cook.
I love this. This is a man coverage, so he's going to read it low to high. Sees a little shallow cross underneath. I don't like it. Goes to the next level. Jared Cook, outstanding ball placement against man.
And that would set up can't guard Mike, and in this case, they couldn't.
The little things that Drew Brees does on this play to help Michael Thomas get open are just special. His eyes, moving his safety, doing it at the same time as a hitch. And then look at the ball placement. He's holding him up against the safety, up over the nickel, and just kind of protecting him against that shot against the corner. Just really well done by the Hall of Fame.
Brees, 538, ties Tom Brady for second all-time. Colts go 3 and out. Next drive, Saints. How about the catch, Michael Thomas?
We call this an any eye over throw. You got to get it in and eye over that linebacker. Beautiful touch on it. One hand by Michael Thomas kind of tips it to himself, and then he's ready to go and make a catch after run after the catch. Outstanding athleticism.
12 catches, 128 yards, and a touchdown, otherwise known as an average night for Michael Thomas. And here's the next touchdown, Traquan Smith.
It's pretty similar to the Michael Thomas touchdown. This time they put someone in front of the linebacker, wrap Traquan Smith behind it. Easy touchdown for the Saints.
That one ties Peyton Manning's record at 539. He's looking for 540 here. Very end of the half, and he gets it. This is a touchdown pass that would break the record, but of course it's the Saints, so there's a controversial flag.
And the officiating crews wonder why the people in New Orleans hate them, because this is a terrible call and a pass interference offensively, and also wipes out the record. Thankfully, it was not a big deal.
Yeah, Brees would go 20 of 21 in the first half. Again, would not throw an incomplete pass in the second half, and would complete this one to Josh Hill for history.
Well, I love the play fake, the design. You got man coverage, the defender jumps up, and then just a moment, you see Drew Brees celebrating with him, his family, his organization, the city of New Orleans. Just the pure emotion between him and everybody sharing this moment was awesome.
Including Sean Payton. What a duo those two have been over all of these years. And by the way, he's not done by any stretch. This was a blowout all the way through, but here's another touchdown, 541.
I love it by Taysom Hill, kind of seams down, then breaks out. This is an NFL defensive back covering a guy who used to play quarterback in college. He's an important weapon, and Drew Brees has gotten to a point where he trusts Taysom Hill.
What a night for the Saints. What a night for Brees.
It was special. Everything about the night, you know. I don't know how they pick. I don't know how they pick them, right? Monday Night Football, playing the Colts, right? The team that you know, we won the Super Bowl against 10 years ago. That record in the balance as well, and just kind of makes you shake your head. You know, just are you kidding me? You know, I'm not sure how we got here. You know, kind of makes your whole life and career flash before your eyes. Just an incredible night, incredible experience, incredible moment. Be able to share that with so many people, because all of them are a big part of this.
All right, so I want to make this clear again. Not only does he break the career passing touchdown record last night, he also goes 29 of 30, which is the best completion percentage in a single game ever, and he ends the game with 22 consecutive completions. He's 3 shy of tying the all-time record there, and that does carry over from game to game, so he could break that record if he completes the first 4 passes next week. So there are so many places to go with this, but Swagoo, I want to go back to where it began this morning for us, because I think you have exactly the right thought about Breeze and his place in history.